Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Tara Kindon, the Celestial Manifester, and today I have a doozy of a full moon for you. It is juicy and delicious, and it is the Wolf full moon, the first full moon of 2023. And this is a moon they call the wolf moon because it is kind of like the scarcest time of the year. And the wolves in their pack are looking for food and they are trusting their intuition. They're not afraid to go after what they want. And they're reconnecting us to the wild part within ourselves that is craving something different. It isn't afraid to go after it, and it isn't afraid to be alone in the process of discovering its own intuition, its own hunger, and it's ready to go after what it wants. So this is that energy and frequency of this beautiful full moon. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you the astrology. I'm going to share with you the human design from my lens, of course. Take what works, disregard what does not work, but utilize some of the information you're hearing in your own life to transform the parts of yourself that are looking for a little bit more, because that is what this energy is. So when I share with you the astrology first, it's about the foundation. So when I look at the astrology, the human design, and I also love the Venus star point, so we sometimes talk about her as well, but the foundation is the astrology. This is literally the bones and the structure of who you are, what makes you you. It is immovable. You've got to work with it. But when you know what it is, you know how it wants to express, it's easier to move with it. The human design is kind of like the next layer. It's the energetic movement. It's the energetic frequency, how things want to move. It's the walls in the house. It's how you lay out your furniture. You can move it around. If you keep bumping into the same thing or you're tripping over the same mat, you pick it up and you move it, right? Like this is part of the energy of your human design. So it gives you a little bit more to work with. And then the Venus star point is the irreplaceable artwork that's on the wall. It's gorgeous, it's stunning, and it really gives the fullest expression of the energy within a space. So let's dive in to the astrology first, friends. Hang tight as I pull up this chart. All right, hopefully you can see this now. So for me, where I'm at in the world, I am on a little island in the middle of the ocean. And this is it, full moon Cancer, 16 degrees. When we see a full moon, we see the moon on one side, the sun on the other side. And I want to talk about the moon first, okay? So she is showing up in the 11th house, but you're going to want to go and look, where is your Cancer house? How is this going to play out for you? So I like to think of the house as like the stage. This is the stage in which the performance will be taking place. So where will that be for you? I don't know. Go look and see. If you're confused about the houses, okay, these are houses. Go and Google like my Cancer is in the 11th house. What does that mean for me? And then play around in this space. Or book a reading. That's even better because we get to go personal, we get to go deep, and we get to go into all of the things that make you uniquely you. But if you're not ready for that yet, go to Google. Google knows everything. All right. The moon is conjunct Pallas Athena. There is an element of wisdom coming in here, but there is also a need to release. Cancer is about that nourishing, the family, how we feel safe in our homes, it really wants to be protective and can sometimes go into a little shell when it doesn't feel protected and feels too exposed. So with this Cancer full moon, it's illuminating for us elements of where we're overgiving, where we're overdoing, where we're over nurturing, where we're over everything, right? And it's about how can we go in to ourselves to release part of our need to protect ourselves too much, to shield ourselves too much. Where can we let ourselves begin to shine more in the light of what we're wanting to do, what we're wanting to achieve? And to do this, there is this element of looking in yourself and say, where am I over giving to everyone else and not taking care of myself? Because Cancer is about the self-care, the self-love, the self-nurturing, this self-peace. We cannot give from an empty cup. This is literally the thing. So there is this wisdom here with Pallas Athena saying to us, all right, where do I need to give myself a little bit more before I move forward into this next iteration, before I go and tackle the next thing, the next project? Because there is this, this is the first full moon of 2023. And it's of course coming in with a bang because that's just how it should be. But when we look to the opposite side of this chart, we see that the sun is at 16 degrees of Capricorn. So again, this is the stage in which it will play out on. Check the house for yourself. And it is conjunct Mercury. So they are incommunicado. They are in the same place. They are working together, thinking together, but Mercury is retrograde and Mars is still retrograde. So Mars is in Gemini. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. There is this element of slowing down in the mind, and this could feel very, very frustrating because you want to get going and build something, right? That Mars wants to get running and doing and moving, but he can't. So he's feeling very frustrated and a little bit stuck. There's also like a grand air trine here if you use the asteroids, feminine asteroids, which I'm going to use. So if we look here, this grand air trine is with Venus, Ceres, and Mars retrograde. So when I look at this and try to interpret it, I'm like, man, Venus in Aquarius is wanting to do her own thing, to march to the beat of her own drum. She's very ahead of the curve. She's not afraid to step out and be different. She doesn't actually care what you think. And she's a little detached, right? She's a little detached. She wants to do these things. She's making a trine to Ceres, the Earth Mother, wants to build something. She's like, okay, I'm going to work with you to build this thing, but we can't get it started yet because Mars is like sort of stuck. He's been stuck at 8 degrees for the last little while. He's going to be stuck there a little bit longer. He is very frustrated, but once this energy moves forward, buckle up, Buttercup, things are going to take off, and it's going to be quick, and it's going to be fearless, and it's going to be very, very fun. We are going to build something next level, new age, like it's going to be amazing. So whatever you're thinking about right now, which is that Sun and Mercury, getting your brain in action, thinking, just know that it's not going to be launching right this second, okay? There is a trine to Neptune here, or Neptune. This is Uranus, the rogue entrepreneur. And he's saying, yeah, baby, we're going all in. We are going all in, and it's going to be really crazy and really wild and really fun because I'm conjunct also the North Node sitting on the midheaven of this chart. So there is this like, whoa, it's going to come quick and fast and furious, but you're incubating. This is an incubation time, going into your intuition, feeding the hunger, feeling like, ooh, what do I really crave right now to bring forward? And that it gets to be really fast, furious, and exciting when it happens. Okay. So Saturn is conjunct the part of fortune here in Aquarius as well. And Saturn in Aquarius, he's catalyzing change for us. He's bringing things forward for us. He's really getting us to look at, with the 6th house here, our routines, our daily habits. What are we doing? Are we transforming? Are we looking at the things that we really want to change, and are we ready to do it or no? Okay. We also have a lovely sextile to Vesta, Vesta being the goddess of the home and hearth. So what is that hunger? What is that fire within you that's burning? It's also in Pisces here. So it just means that Vesta in Pisces is more creative. She really wants to be fully expressed. She's more sensitive. She's more intuitive. So it's like really tapping into this intuitive nature. All right. In a nutshell, that's what's happening. Now let's look at the human design, because we'll come back to the astrology to land it even more. But I always love going to the HD so it shows you in the body, where could this be happening for you? All right. Hopefully you can see this chart now. So when we look here, this is the gorgeous body graph for this particular moon. And we see here the head and ajna are defined. This means that we are very much in our heads. We have a very much fixed way of seeing the things in this illumination, like, whoa. Okay. Now, we all have all of the charts. So I just want to be very clear about this, and that there isn't someone who has more than another, even though you may see things that are open and, defined and undefined. It doesn't matter. All the transits we receive connect to parts of our own personal chart. So the information that I'm sharing with you, keep in mind, it will be affecting you differently depending on what activations these are completing for you, giving for you, and allowing you to receive, right? So take with it the information you're receiving, but also then look at your own chart to see, oh yeah, okay, I don't have the 12, I'm getting the 12, I have the 22, and now you're getting this beautiful channel. Like, just pay attention to that. It's something I don't talk about that often, but I want to remind you, you have all the chart. There's nothing you don't have, but this is just the snapshot of this full moon and how the energy of the full moon is here for us to utilize. Okay, now, with this definition up here, it's like we can be a little locked up in the head, okay? We can be a little stuck up here because it's not connected to the rest of the body. You see that? There's no connection to the throat and so on and so forth. So it is a little bit stuck up in its head. And when we look at the sun is in gate 54, which is the gate of divine inspiration. Mercury, you remember Mercury and the sun are together, is also in the gate of divine inspiration. And what does divine inspiration mean for you? Well, it can mean 1,000 different things, but we're really looking at the way we cultivate our relationship with the divine muse or the cosmic connection, how we receive information, how we receive inspiration. And when we look to like, okay, well, where is the 54? It's down here in the root. So it's a pulse. It's a pulse. You're just going to be like, this is a beautiful inspiration I'm receiving, right? And so it's about nurturing and holding on to that inspiration and being the steward, like holding on to it, being the steward for it, protecting it, loving it, giving what it needs to grow. It's the seed is being planted, if you will, and then aligning yourself energetically with the ideas that really feel good. How does it feel for you? Because it's all about the way we feel. And then it's preparing the way. Okay. So when it's here in divine inspiration, remember, we are not moving it forward right now. We are nurturing the seed. We are watering the seed. We are tending to the soil. We are making sure no other little weeds are coming up and messing with our beautiful little inspiration. Okay. That's where we are with the sun. So we're shining in this, we're thinking about it, and we're communicating about it when the time is right and not a second before. Okay. So the earth is sitting in gate 53, and gate 53 is about the starting. Gate 53 is also down here off the root, a pulse, a planting, a seeding. Okay. And it's sitting with the inspiration and attuning yourself to what the inspiration needs and wants around the initiation sequence. So again, it's like feeding your seed, weeding when necessary, watering when necessary. If it's not getting enough light, move it, move yourself. If you need more light, more nourishment, more what have you, move yourself, because this is about you really going into yourself to decide intuitively, ooh, yes, 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 this feels good to me. Okay. And then just trusting, like getting in the flow and knowing that when the time is right and the sequence is in play, it's going to work out the way it's meant to work out. And you just got to get into the flow. Once you know, you know. All right, next piece is the North Node here in the gate of blessings. And this is the gate 24 here, the gate of blessings. This is about seeing, all of the experiences that you've had in your life, some good, some not so good. It's that, they all give us the potential for growth and for our own personal expansion. So what is the story in your mind about the experiences that you've had? Because this is where it gets locked up in the head, right? You run a track of what the experiences that you've had mean when they don't actually mean that. So using them, to find the blessings in the experience you've had and using them for the potential growth and the potential expansion and redefining these stories, redefining them, redefining your experiences, reflecting on what you've learned and how you've actually grown, and being grateful, finding gratitude for all of the life experiences that you've had, okay? Liberate yourself from the stories that just don't serve you anymore, because you don't need to stick in it, sitting in the poop of it, get out of it. Let yourself be free. That's the North Node. That's where we're going, okay? Where we're coming from is the South Node in gate 44, which runs here off the spleen. And this is about the truth. This is the ability to see the patterns that have caused us pain, to break the cycles, see it for what it really is. So this is where you're coming from. You get it, you see it, you know it, right? And to transform that pain into an increased sense of alignment with your purpose, okay? Like, oh, yes, I can't run this track anymore. This track sucks. It's not working for me. It's time to move forward. That's where you're coming from and going into, yes, reframing the story around, what the experiences that you've been through that have caused you pain. You get to transform the story and tell a new story. That's what's being illuminated for you. The moon, the beautiful moon, is sitting here in gate 39. Again, down here off the root. This is that pulse, that root, that seed. She's recalibrating us, okay? And as she recalibrates us, she's helping us transform experiences into opportunities. So she's helping us to shift into greater abundance and to see and experience internal and external lack, but using your awareness of the lack to recalibrate your energy. So if you're feeling like, who am I to do this thing? How am I going to do this? There's nothing for me. My place sucks. This sucks. That sucks. Well, you get a chance to recalibrate the energy, because where we plug our thoughts into is what creates the feelings. What creates the feelings calibrates our experiences. But it all starts with this like pulse, this feeling of like, ooh, yeah, it's time for me to rejig that. It's time for me to rework that. How do I feel about this thing I'm thinking about? And that's what the moon is here to show us. Okay, remember, she's conjunct Pallas Athena, so we're getting the wisdom. It's like this pulsing wisdom from the universe. You're connected to the pulse saying, yep, this isn't working anymore. We're going to transform it. So Mercury, remember, and Mercury and Sun hanging out together in 54, and Venus, our beautiful goddess of all the things that we crave, we want, we desire, we deserve, our value, all the fun things. She's in the gate 41. Also down here off the root, this pulse, this seeding, this inspiration. And she's literally in the gate of inspiration, imagination, not inspiration, but it is inspiration anyway, because it's the pulse of inspiration. So it's using your creative imagination, okay? This is where the human design new year begins on January 22nd, and Venus is trailblazing the path for us. Remember, Venus is going first. She's moving through this beautiful gate to wake us up, to get us off our regular path. She's saying, hey, we're going to do things differently. This is the year we do it differently, right? We're in the first week of a brand new year, and she's blazing the trail. So let her blaze the trail for you. Let her set your spirit on fire and let her bring you into alignment. So she's really helping us generate abundant opportunities so that we kind of sustain these new abundant visions, right? It's about the vision for us, and only sharing these things when necessary, okay? And using the power of your imagination to break old patterns, old limiting beliefs. Like, she's blowing it up, trailblazing, making new patterns, helping us see something differently. And this is the beauty of this gorgeous full moon, because remember that Venus is trining Ceres, who's also trining that Mars. And remember, Mars is retrograde. So we're going to talk about Mars now. Mars is in the gate 16, coming off of the throat center, okay? So he's over here and he's been hanging out here for a while. And this is about the zest for life. This is about us trusting our own intuition, trusting our own wisdom before we try to move something forward. So remember, this wolf moon is about trusting our intuition. Like, what are we chasing? What are we hungry for? Trusting that it's going to show up, that meal's going to be there when we need it, that thing's going to be there. This is what's happening. So for those of you who've been out of trust, out of alignment, out of your intuition, Like, this is why it's very frustrating for those who are getting this reprogram of, hey, are you trusting it? How about now? And he's just sitting there until you figure it out. So hopefully you figure it out before he moves on, because when he moves on, it's going to be go time. Okay. So trusting that the timing is right and you're ready enough, even if you don't know exactly how your journey is going to unfold. Faith in the outcome, faith that the food is going to come, faith that your inner wolf is just going to know what you really are craving, and that's what you're going to move it forward with. Okay. So then we look here to Jupiter, who's in the gate of spirit. This is cultivating a regular practice with spirit, with source. Remember with Saturn, we talked about he's in Aquarius as well. He's in the gate 49. This is the gate of the catalyst. He is really challenging us to move things forward in a creative way. The emotional solar plexus is wide open here. In this particular chart, we are feeling all of the feels and some. It can be highly intuitive, highly emotional. Use the emotions, the energy and motion to be creative, okay? So then we go to Uranus. He's here in the gate 2. Remember, he was up at the midheaven conjunct the North Node. So they're side by side. And that Uranus is asking us, hey, do you, because it's the gate of allowing. So it's like, are you leaning back into the universe, God, source, spirit, whoever you want to call, and feeling like you have, there's a trust here that you will be shown what you need to be shown when the time is right. Do you believe that to be true? This is the question. And then we have Neptune in the gate 36, and the gate 36 is right here, running off that emotional solar plexus center, asking us to really be in tune with our highest version of self, creativity, expression, all the beautiful magical things that Neptune is here to teach us, the higher self. Are you connecting to your highest self? Are you doing your spiritual practice? Are you ready to make some changes? Like, this is the question. And then Pluto, of course, the god of the underworld, is sitting in gate 60, saying to us, are you conserving your energy? Where are you focusing your energy on? What's working or what's not? And this is where a lot of people are getting hung up right now. A lot of people are getting hung up in where to focus their energy. Well, I can tell you right now, go focus it where you're hungry. Where are you hungry? I'm going to stop sharing this chart and just come back here to the astrology to show you, where are you hungry? Where are you craving something? And that's Vesta here is showing us creatively, like tuning into your creative self. And I know a lot of people are like, I'm not a creative person. I don't have a creative bone in my body. Bull poop, not true. Every single person on this planet is a creative being. Now, here's one of the things that I wanted to mention about Sirius, the star that is conjunct this full moon here, and he's literally beside the sun. So apart from the sun, Sirius is the next brightest star in the galaxy. So it's interesting to think that, this star is known as either the shining one, the sorcerer. It's basically Orion's dog, okay? And Sirius is like the nose of the dog, but very interesting. So here, listen to this is Bernadette Brady's book. For those of you who are curious, it's called Star and Planet Combinations. She's amazing, and she helps us learn more about the stars. But if you're just learning about astrology, I recommend maybe just waiting for this one. So here, Sirius struggles at a personal level as it seeks to link small personal actions to great sacred moments, to find the sacred in the mundane actions of daily life. And in this process, the individual can be sacrificed to the greater expression. Now, what does this mean? It just means, like, to me, how I interpret this is that, really seeing like these small sacred moments to be catalyzing us forward, shifting us forward, showing us the next steps to how we go to like really understand we're part of the greater picture. You don't have to go sacrifice yourself for the greater good, but if you want to, it's there for you as well. But there is this element of knowing we're all part of the bigger plan, the bigger matrix, the bigger, the collected cosmos. We're all part of it. We are literally stardust, right? And the interesting thing with this star is it's like it's illuminating to us more of our own greatest potentiality. And here's what I'm noticing. So I'm going to just stop this share and come at you because I really want you to hear this. So there are a lot of gurus out there right now talking about the 3D, 5D, this is coming to an end, that's coming to an end. The paradigms are falling apart, all paradigms, old systems, old structures are all falling apart and blah, 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 blah. And it's creating this real collective fear and this real collective hyper emotionality. Okay. Now, if you have a wide open emotional solar plexus, you're very, very sensitive to the energy and emotion that's around you, and not just in your physical connections, but like online connections. Okay. So same thing holds true. And that we think about the emotional solar plexus is that creativity, it's the emotions, it's us being very attuned to the environment, where your spleen center, and this is, if you don't know the human design centers, you know the chakras. So it's your solar plexus chakra split into two, giving you more connection to emotion, more connection to intuition, instinct in the moment, right? These are the two centers that are most susceptible to the energies around us. I think they're the centers that need the most like work, because they are the ones that are really affecting people right now. And they're pulling people this way, pulling people this way. And with the spleen center, it's collective fear. So when these people, gurus and whomever you're following, that are freaking you out, it's not cool. It's not cool because, it's one thing to have an opinion. It's another thing to put fear into people. But no one can put fear into you if you are very aware of your energy. This is the only thing we have control over, is our frequency. And there are people out there running around talking about frequency, and this machine and that machine is going to fix your frequency. Nothing can fix your frequency. You can fix your frequency. The machines may help you with the flow of the energy through the body, but it can't change your frequency. It cannot change your energy. Only you have the power to do that. So when you're thinking about things, okay, so when you're plugged in with certain leaders, certain whatevers who are telling you a certain thing, and you then bring it into yourself, and you're like, now all of a sudden you're freaking out. Ask yourself, do I believe this to be true? Is this mine or is this somebody else's? And then see what happens. See what happens. Because if it's not yours, not my circus, not my monkey. I love that one. It just helps you separate from the things that are not yours, because there's a lot of things being said and happening that are you're internalizing potentially. This isn't for everybody, but those of you who are really struggling right now, I just want to do this PSA to help you clear it, help you get back to your own self, because like it is the only thing you have ultimate control over. And so while we're hearing things like food shortages, this is falling apart, that's falling apart, the old things have to die before new things can be born. Okay. Deep breath. What can I do for myself right now in this day to take care of myself, my energy, my family, my finances, my whatever? What can I do today? What can I do today? Because we don't know what's happening tomorrow. We've seen what's happened, but we can only go today. It literally, we can only go day by day right now. And that's okay. But how can I be in the energy of people who help me feel good, excited, uplifted, potential, and not feeling dragged down, depressed, shattered, terrified? That is not so this is the separation that's happening right now. It literally is the divide. So there is like the Grand Canyon and the big crater in the middle, and there are people on this side and people on this side, and there are people who just don't know what to do and are falling in the middle. Please don't fall in the middle. Take a deep breath, recalibrate your energy. You're not going to be positive Pete every single day. Maybe you are, but like when you are feeling low, when you are feeling frustrated, figure out what are the things that can help you get out of the spin as fast as possible. When you're feeling hyper emotional, the beautiful things you can do are to feed your Venus, feed your moon. Help yourself understand what creativity, creativity is like a distraction. It takes you out of the cycle and the spin of this downward spiral. It connects you back to like your creative contribution to the world, connects you back to your cosmic connection, and it doesn't keep you feeling so weighted down. That's what this full moon is here to do. It's going to help you heal through this Cancer energy in your home, in yourself, in your self-care, your self-love, and how you're giving to others. Those of you who are here, you are literally, and you need to hear this, you are the beacon of light for other people because you are here paying attention. You are here working on your frequency. You are here trying to better understand yourself, your emotions, your energy, and you're ready to do something about it. And if you're not ready quite yet, you keep coming back. At some point you will be. Don't get caught up in the landslide because some of you good, beautiful people are getting caught up in the landslide. And we can't stop people from saying things, but we can mute them on our Instagram, unfollow them, separate yourself from them. Here's the thing that people have been asking me because like in private coaching and whatever, if it's family members or people you really love who are like doomsday on the news, telling you all the things that are going sideways, like the one thing you can do with them is hug them and tell them it's going to be okay. And when you do that, they'll be like, what was I even talking about? Like they'll forget their train of thought. So try that out. Change the topic of conversation. Don't be rude about it. Just try your best to be like, so how about blah, blah, blah. Like just shifting the energy is going to be your number one savior this year because this is the year of personal power. I 100% believe this is the year that people begin to reconnect to their own wisdom, their potential, their power. They understand they don't need a guru to walk them towards their power. What they need to do is trust themselves. Trust themselves, trust their intuition, listen to their own insights, and be connected. The only way to be connected is to disconnect from the crazy. Disconnect from the crazy. So slowly and steadily, this is the year of personal power, coming back into your power, being around those who support you in your power, and reminding you, hey, you know what to do here? You got this. You got this. We got you. I got you. All right. What are some cards for this moon? So we can kind of go deeper. New perspective. Well, if you didn't get the new perspective from the chit chat we just had, go back and listen. Rest and relax. Nurturing your beautiful moon and reminding yourself you are a powerful person who needs a break from other people. Third eye chakra is the next one, and that is the visioning. What is the future I envision for myself? Those thoughts create feelings. So thoughts, feelings, calibration. Thoughts, feelings, calibration. What I think creates a feeling. That feeling creates a frequency, and that frequency gets emitted into the world, whether you like it or not. So if what you're looking around and seeing in your space right now sucks, ask yourself what you're thinking about. Get out of your head and get into your heart. Done and done. That wraps it right up, friends. All right, new perspective, rest and relax, third eye chakra, head versus the heart. We are up in our heads with this Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde. It's got us all up in our business, all up in the business, and it's getting a little crazy. So how do you get out of that? Well, sometimes, and I will tell people this, tap here on your higher heart, and that just brings you right back into your body. Qigong, any kind of tapping exercises helps you get back into the physical body. Go move the issues out of your tissues. If you get too much up in your head, go take a yoga class, go do whatever it takes. get a tea, make a beautiful tea, light a beautiful candle. We're going to be moving into Aquarius season soon. But today, because it's a full moon, I got the full moon candle lit. Get yourself a candle, friends. Head on over to my Etsy shop. I'm linking it below. I'm also going to link, some coaching options for you. If you want to go deeper, you want to get a reading, you want to learn more about how your energy wants to flow and be expressed so that you can personally understand your own energy and then put it up against the transits, against the full moons and say, okay, this is where it's going to show up for me. This is how I'm going to be working through this personally. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is the energy upgrade is coming, friends. For those of you who are like, help me protect it, help me cultivate it, help me figure out how to be in my power. It is coming, friends. It is coming. So happy new moon, full moon, happy full moon in Cancer. Happy wolf moon. Go out and howl at the moon. Go and find out what is craving you. Just like be in it, all of it. All right. Sending you all so much love. I have so much gratitude for you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like this video, share it with your people, help yourself, help me help you. Thank you, everyone. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.